And welcome back to Georgia Regents University, here for the PSB Elite 32 Summer Jam Session 2. Getting ready to bring you live action featuring All Ohio Black versus Exodus NYC. Two solid programs here that are no stranger to Peach State basketball events, as well as Prospects Nation TV. This should make for a very good matchup as we get ready to close out the July live period in our month-long slate of events. So I'm Marcus Burnett. I'll be joined by J.L. Hemingway. Stay tuned shortly as we'll bring you the tip-off live here from Augusta, Georgia. Welcome back. We're about ready to get started. All Ohio Black versus Exodus NYC. Marcus Burnett joined by the man with the plan, J.L. Hemingway. Hemi, two good teams here as we approach our next to last matchup here from the Elite 32.
Marcus, as always, the SUV TV always manages to find the good teams and the good players to put center stage, and that's what we got here at the Elite 32 Summer Jam. All Ohio Black, JB Bethea, not a stranger to the SUV TV, getting our first look at Epiphany Prince Elite and Exodus right here. Should be a good one.
That three-pointer off the mark there by Katrina Williams. It'll be last touch by All Ohio and go over to Exodus NYC.
Couple of players to talk about here. First for All Ohio Black. Number 22 in red, Sierra Rice, is the first person to talk about. But before we can talk about her, let's talk about the point guard, number 1 in black. That's Kayla Hilaire that finishes that lay-in. Rice being very heavily recruited. You can see the University of Illinois, Toledo, other schools along this back line that are in here to get a look at her. But a kid that has been coming on late, and Marcus, you and I spoke about her in our pre-production meeting over a pork barbecue sandwich here at Georgia Regents University. We talked about Kayla McIntyre at the free throw line here, number 30 in red. She's had a big July. We talk about post players all the time, being productive, size. There's not a whole lot of them out there, but McIntyre certainly elevating her stock, certainly has earned herself some money here in this month of July.
Couldn't agree with you more. And one facet of her game that has really drawn attention is when she is fouled and able to, draw the attention that she does on the inside. She's been able to step to the free throw line and be able to knock them down time after time. Just really impressed with what she's been able to do.
Oh, no doubt. One of the key components of post play is being a good free throw shooter, because you are going to draw so much contact, and McIntyre does do that. And we talk about the great centers of all time. Shaq is definitely one of those great centers, but I think what ultimately keeps him from being considered the best is the fact that he shot so poorly at the free throw line himself. But finishing that bucket on the inside for Epiphany Prince is number 14, Martine Fortune. And she has given her verbal pledge to Georgia Tech University.
So she'll be playing her college ball right across 75-85 in the varsity there in downtown Atlanta.
Yeah, Michelle Joseph has got herself some size to go along with the backcourt talent that she has with Kayla Davis. But of course, you know, Fortune won't be the only kid that is on campus during that time. They picked up Aaron Gardner, you know, from Philadelphia, an elite 100 prospect, and also bringing in Zaire O'Neal, who was a top 20 power forward prospect as well. So help is on the way along that front line, and Fortune will definitely be one of those kids to bring added depth for Joseph and her staff there.
So it's a 4-3 ball game in favor of Exodus. Williams to McIntyre. McIntyre in need of a lifeline over there. She's going to find number 21. Sierra Rice with the steal and the layup drill on the other end.
Rice has been consistent this summer, always giving energy. And what I like about her is, you know, on the defensive end particularly, you know, she gives consistent effort, you know, finding ways to get steals, deflections, and such, and always finds a way to convert those into points. Epiphany Prince is going to get a quick timeout right here and going to talk about how to break this pressure. But also out there on the court for All Ohio, I think we've got to mention number 21 that I talked about just a moment ago. I believe that's Amber Wilkes, who's out there in red.
Yeah.
Another 2015 post player. Big opportunity for her all July. Her and McIntyre both coming out here showing what they can do.
Productive time out there, as it's a bucket on the inside for Exodus NYC, making it a 6-5 ball game. That one was scored by number 25, Erin McClure. Nia Johnson with the rebound. She's fouled on her attempt to step through. And Johnson, number 21 there for Exodus Elite. EBA Super 64 camper.
Yeah, we got a chance to see her up close and personal at Sewanee Sports Academy back in June. She's an Elite 60 prospect in the class of 2016. You know, what we like about her is her size. You know, in the backcourt, can be a point guard, handle the ball, but she can also step off of the ball and be equally as productive. You know, that term combo guard gets thrown around quite a bit, and you know, you can call anybody a combo guard, but can they truly be a combo threat to where they can handle, or can they also, you know, score, you know, in the off guard situation? Can they spot up and shoot, or can they attack? Nia Johnson, I believe, is a true dual threat in that way.
It's going to have a turnover there by All Ohio. Going to give it back to Exodus. There's McClure with it up top, guarded by McIntyre. Douglas throws that pass out of bounds. It was intended for Johnson. So both teams matching turnovers there. It'll be All Ohio's ball with 11 minutes, 46 seconds left to play here in the first half. 1 point advantage for Exodus. Here's Wilkes. Gets it to go off the window.
It just seems so easy, you know. Hey, turn around, I'll shoot it. It goes off the backboard and in.
Hilaire guarded by Rice. Hilaire showing a little bit of sizzle here to start the game off. Guarded by Rice, who All Ohio's best defender. Nia Johnson going to try the three-pointer. She's no good. Fight for the rebound inside. Snatched away by McIntyre. He doesn't mind dribbling it out of there, you know, after a rebound if need be. That travel going to go against All Ohio.
That's why I think that I would classify McIntyre as more of a power forward. than perhaps even a true center. Listed at 6'2", but she has the ability to play, you know, facing the basket. You see the ball handling skills, you know, on that previous possession. I think that she can work the high-low, give you a little bit of, you know, ball reversal handling at different moments. But she can also fake the 5, you know, if you want to go small. You see her bring the ball up here and distribute.
Gets it over to Moses. Now Rice has it. They'll go to McIntyre now. Too easy inside.
Now, sometimes coaches get nervous when their post player puts it on the floor, especially in the lane with all of those hands and quick guards, you know, slashing down in there. But McIntyre took her time, was able to get an angle and punch it off the glass.
That shot off the mark there by Douglas. All Ohio. A little bit of Mo on their side. 3-point advantage. Rice to Williams. Now Wilkes has it. Wilkes has that knocked out of her hands by Hilaire, but All Ohio retains possession.
I like how McIntyre here against this zone defense is very active. You know, moving from side to side, working that baseline, trying to find the gaps in that zone.
That's another number 21 that just checked into the game, so have to figure out the name associated with that, so we'll get that shortly. McClure trying to put the move on McIntyre. Nice defense there. Douglas going to try the three-pointer. Good contest there by McIntyre, but she's not in there to rebound. And as a result, 2 offensive rebounds picked up there by Exodus. Hilaire, she got the ball on a string, crosses over Rice. She's going to be fouled there on the inside. That's going to send Hilaire to the free throw line. Kayla Hilaire out of Floral Park Memorial High School there in New York.
Hilaire trying to fill the gap of former Exodus elite point guard that used to have a lot of, as you would say, sizzle with the basketball, Bianca Cuevas. Although not too many people at all would be able to fill those shoes, but we're able to watch Cuevas for years and years and years here at Augusta State University, and is going to go on and be a star. Coach Don Staley in South Carolina.
You see Jelia Moses with the three-pointer there to make it a 13-7. Sorry, 12-8 ball game in favor of All Ohio. And back to Cuevas was definitely one of my favorite players to cover here on Prospects Nation TV. Could fill it up, get to the rack, knock it down from outside. And with family there in the Columbia, South Carolina area, will definitely be able to catch Coach Staley's Gamecocks program there in action a couple times next season. As Hilaire says, hey, Cuevas was nice, but I can make it happen out here too. She slashes that one from outside.
She is channeling her inner Cuevas, I guess you could say.
Coming back the other way is McIntyre. Had an impressive stretch during the other night's webcast between All Ohio Black and Florida Flight, sudden death overtime game, to where there were 7 straight possessions where McIntyre either scored or was sent to the free throw line once they gave it to her in the post, and didn't miss a free throw during that stretch either. It was just real impressive, and that was against the likes of Astasia Tider, who, from a height standpoint, McIntyre might have her, but from a strength standpoint, is no walk in the park by any means.
That's what we would classify as productivity. When you look at McIntyre, you may be scared away from, scared of maybe her ceiling. She is not, what you would classify as an elite athlete. And a great downhill drive there by Douglas. She's having a good game. But I don't think that you can overestimate or overemphasize just how important it is to be productive. What it means to score points. You just don't see that quite enough. Kids 6'2" or above that will come out and give you buckets night in, night out, and that's what we've seen from McIntyre this summer.
Nia Johnson loses that one out of bounds. She's still trying to get going here for Exodus. Couple substitutions into the game for All Ohio. Number 5, Nia Ahart. Number 2, Chantel Bostic. And number 4, Sierra Hooks. Bexley Wallace, number 31, in the game as well. As we see her trying to work in the post. Good looking shot there. It won't fall. Myers with the offensive rebound. Ball tipped around. Finally, Douglas comes away with it. Nice defense there by Ahart. Drives her right to Myers. Myers gets the block. Here comes Bostic the other way, weaving through everybody. Going to be fouled there by Fortune.
Chantel Bostic. She has been a spark plug for Coach J.V. Bethea this July. Has played big minutes at various times for All Ohio. Remember her on the broadcast over there at Kell High School. And their matchup with Heroes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Bostic was really the kid that kind of kept that thing afloat for All Ohio. Really like her energy on the defensive end, obviously, but sometimes you just need a guard to slash to the bucket and just make something happen.
Yeah.
And whether that's good, bad, or indifferent, just kind of mix things up. Bostic is that game changer, with the ball in her hands. But she's also, poised enough to, not be out of control.
Yeah.
Oh, a little trickery right there. But, to finish that idea about Bostic, she's come in and although she may not be a starter or may not even get the most amount of touches, from the shooting guard or even point guard position, really just plays her role.
As Hilaire ties the game at 14 with that free throw. As it looks like the officials are kind of catching what I caught a few minutes back as far as 2 number 21s in the game. So they're discussing that. It's number 21. Second number 21 is going to be listed as 0. So that's going to be a technical foul against Exodus NYC as a result of having two players with the same number in the book. So then on top of the technical for the wardrobe malfunction, so to speak, is going to also be an administrative technical call via the official. So that's going to send Nia Ahart to the free throw line. She cashes in on the first one.
Well, Marcus, I think that we can label this now the July technical.
Definitely, Andy. Good one, Chief.
Yeah, we've seen the July jump shot, the jump shot that hit the side of the backboard, the July layup that went over the top of the backboard, the July free throw, which was the air ball, and now the duplicate jersey for the July technical. Oh, we got to have a sense of humor about this and laugh about this, guys. So I'm not sure. Okay.
Well, I was about to say we were about to see July officiating for a second, Andy.
I thought we were going to check it up there at the top of the key.
Sierra Hooks to inbound it for All Ohio. Here's Ahart. Myers trying to work it to Wallace there. Johnson's all over it. She'll push it ahead for Exodus. Here's McClure.
Ooh. Good block.
Myers with the rejection. Ahart gets it over to Hooks. Hooks off the mark on that jump shot. Myers working inside. She's no good, and Boustic wrestling it away from the taller Russell. Give me that, and 2 points to go with it.
That's the type of productivity that I've been talking about with Bostick. Just finds a way to get an offensive rebound, hustle plays, and such. But I want to point out what Coach J.B. Bethea has on the floor right now. He's got 4 kids that are going to be with him for a very long time. He's got 2 rising sophomores and 2 rising freshmen. They're going to be the heart and soul of this All-Ohio team for years to come. The 2 big post players inside, 2018 kids, Bexley Wallace and Valencia Myers, 2018 post players, and then Sierra Hooks and Nia Ahart, number 4 and 5 there in red, 2017 kids. Speaking to Coach JB, earlier, and a good drive here by Exodus and a good jumper by McClure. What he was telling me was, he said, look, I knew I was going to be down, so to speak, this year, but I wanted to go ahead and invest in these young kids and just be, back on top for years to come. And the experience that these kids have had, playing against some of the top players around the nation, and, just having the experience of traveling and also playing on the stage is going to play dividends in years to come.
Most definitely. So you've been able to really track their development, over this travel season, starting with that Midwest Showdown hosted by All Ohio up to this point. So it's already gotten some good ROI as far as that investment, and just more to come over the next couple years. Getting a trip to the free throw line here is McClure. 18-16 ball game in favor of All Ohio. About 4:50 left to play here in the first half as McClure knocks down the first free throw, and really seeing some good examples of what she can do over the past couple minutes. Made a nice in and out move. A couple possessions ago, even though the shot ended up being blocked. Good defense by All Ohio. Really shows what she can do with her size. Splashed a 3-pointer on the last possession, and there we see her going to the free throw line, knocking some down. Bostick gets it to Myers, and 1. So that's going to send Myers to the free throw line with a chance for the 3-point play the hard way.
We talked about Valencia Myers just a moment ago being, that post player of the future, and you're right, Marcus. Talk about return on investment. Myers is definitely a better player today than she was, back on Memorial Day. Good drive and finish there by Douglas, coming back the other direction.
Sierra Hooks off the mark on that shot. Really enjoy watching Hilaire and Douglas play. A lot of excitement there in that backcourt as we're seeing Exodus really kind of get a rhythm going. McClure hits the mid-range there.
McClure is a prospect that has taken off, starting after Boo Williams. Our director of scouting, Kyle Moore, saw her and saw the work that she was doing, and she is hearing from a number of different schools, and you can see that some of those schools that have been tracking her are in the building here this afternoon checking out the action.
McClure, nice job of drawing the defense, kicks it to Russell. Russell can't finish. Here's Wallace. Wallace's first 2 jump shots haven't went down. Definitely been good looks. Checking back into the game. For Exodus going to be number 14, Martine Fortune. Douglas trying to split through, but Hooks takes her cookies. Coming the other way. No good on the layup attempt, and Douglas will push it. Got a 2-on-1. McClure comes back to Douglas. Johnson still has yet to get going. Changes that as we speak, splashing it from 3-point land.
Good skip pass, gets her feet underneath her. Good release there by Johnson and knocks it down. An elite 60 prospect in the class of 2016.
Aaron McClure is going to have a seat into the game. Instead, it's going to be number 5, Stephanie Jones, seeing her first action of the game. It's a 4-point advantage for Exodus. 2:25 and counting left to play here in the first. Hooks looking for Bostic. For those being from Atlanta, that was Bostic on that pass there. That was Roddy White back when Michael Vick was quarterback versus Roddy White when by the time Matt Ryan came around, where now he's catching everything. Jones is converged on by multiple defenders. Fouled on the play, so that's going to send her to the line. Speaking of football, it's almost that time to start gearing up for the fantasy football leagues, man.
Oh, Marcus, that's one of the favorite things of the fall time for me. I will actually be flying up to your home state for a fantasy football draft in the middle of August. That's not obsessive or too much now, is it?
No, it's not. I was just going to have your back on explaining that when you mentioned it. Going to college in St. Louis, I had some buddies. We would do the same thing each year. It's more about the fellowship, the sitting back. It's more than just the fantasy football side of things, man. It's no different than going out of town for a golf tournament or, a reunion weekend, something like that. That shot bounces around, won't stay down for Hooks, but good strong rebound inside and the putback by Myers.
Yeah, we've talked about Myers a lot, her development. Obviously the raw tools are there, but boy, she just keeps making more and more plays. See her boxing out there and going and grabbing the rebound. She's going to be a big-time player. Still edges around out. You see the high-low pass there get deflected. And that's one thing that she's going to want to improve upon is, the handling, the pass fakes. You catching the high post. You got to put that ball up to your chin. Fake low to pass high, fake high to pass low. Those type of things that will eliminate those type of mistakes. But she's young. You much rather having to round those type of things out rather than, teach a kid how to even run up and down the court, which, quite honestly, a kid at her size, look at this as she runs hard. Most kids can't do that. At that age, that size. Heck, a lot of kids, as seniors who are that size, still can't even do that.
Yeah. As that play showed you, no problem running at all. She sprinted down the middle of the floor very quickly. Takes a trip to the charity stripe here after that foul.
I just look at her feet, just such big feet. And she's got a frame that is going to be able to put on good pounds. Frame is important, when you talk about evaluating for the next level. She doesn't have thin shoulders. She's got shoulders that are going to be able to, put on weight and, get in the weight room when the time comes.
She pulls all Ohio to within 2 with 38 seconds and counting left to play here in the first half. Douglas cross-court pass to Johnson, just knocked down a three-pointer from there a couple possessions ago. Too strong on that shot, but she's got reinforcements in the form of Martine Fortune. Gets the rebound and the putback.
Good passing here by All Ohio.
10 seconds to work with here. Foul called on that back tap there by Hilaire.
Got 7 seconds to go, sideline out of bounds situation. Let's see if they're aware of the situation. Let's see if they can get a shot.
Good look for Hooks. Bank still open. It's 5:48 here on a Tuesday. Bank open still for Hooks. And that's going to do it for the first half. Thanks for watching Prospects Nation TV. And we'll be back here after halftime. It's a 28-27 lead in favor of Exodus. And welcome back here to Georgia Regents University. Marcus Burnett joined by J.L. Hemingway, ready to start the second half between All Ohio Black and Exodus NYC. It's a 1-point advantage for the representatives from the Big Apple. Hilaire with the ball. Gets to step on hooks, but Valencia Myers in there with the swat.
Marcus stepped into the restroom just a moment ago and happened to run into, and Logan over here is laughing at me for mentioning stepping into the restroom. But, hey, these things happen, you know. You're right in the middle of a tournament. You've been drinking a lot of water. And I bumped into Coach J.B. Bethea, and we just were talking about Valencia Myers. I said, it's almost as if you see, and right on cue, she makes the high-low pass. It's almost as if you see the progression. You're watching a kid get better right in front of your eyes. I remember her back Memorial Day, Marcus, and the evaluation was, yeah, she's big, she's got a good frame. It seems that she's got some skills, but can't put it all together. And it's like every time she comes out, one more thing seems to lock in place. You know, the first half she gets a high-low pass deflected. Second half she comes out and is able to make it, and it's just exciting to see, you know, that type of progression.
Exciting to see it, and it's been very easy to see. Could we possibly see it get to the point where we have a Waterman, a Michaela Waterman and Catherine Westbell kind of high-low connection between the Myers and the McIntyre, or Bexley Wallace?
Well, that's an interesting comparison. My goodness, you know, the shoulder shake and the left-handed finish. I think they're different types of prospects.
Definitely.
Waterman and Westbell were definitely, you know, kind of hybrid forwards.
Could do it all.
Yeah, they could both face up and, you know, handle, whereas these kids are hybrid post players, I would say. You know, Myers and Wallace can both play either post position. They can face up, hit the jumper, but they can also post up, you know, inside, whereas Westbell and Waterman could do that, but they could also step out to the wing and, you know, kind of fake a wing, you know, at different moments. So they've definitely got more size. But yeah, I like the comparison, you know, there, and it's gonna be fun watching them play.
Yeah, good point, Emmy. I just needed some sort of segue to drop Waterman and Westbell in there.
Favorite players, Marcus?
They were solid, and got to mention Kelsey Mitchell and mentioning those two, and that really helps you see the context also as far as what, you know, Coach Bethea had in the cupboard last year, and, you know, really help you see what he means when he says, you know, the youth that he has this particular year.
Starting point. Well, one kid that gets overlooked a lot of times from that team last year was Alexa Hart, who's going to Ohio State, you know, with you know, Waterman and Kelsey Mitchell as well. And you know, she protected the rim, you know, so well. And, you know, there might be some comparisons there for Myers, you know, and Hart, but it appears that Myers, you know, has even a little bit more offensive skill than, you know, Hart did, you know, even at times last year.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, she was definitely very raw, and you know, Ohio State staff, I know they're excited to get her, you know, in those individuals and start polishing out that skill set. But you know, Myers is definitely on the track to be one of those elite type prospects.
Nia Johnson going to be called for the offensive foul there. A little bit too much strength on the weight room move. So it's going to give the ball back over to All Ohio. 29-29 ball game. Bexley Wallace. Nice move under the rim. Good defense by Exodus. Looks like they got a piece of that shot. Bexley Wallace also been showing her development over the past couple weeks as well. Nice pass right there. McClure to Fortune.
McClure is making a push into the Elite 100, in my opinion. You know, as we expand our rankings to the 150, can definitely see her being in that conversation for sure, as Bostic comes right back the other direction with the lay-in.
You touched on it in the first half. Love how Bostic contributes without doing too much. But at the same time, she knows and can recognize when she can pick her spots.
That's Douglas with the lay-in, Alexia Douglas. Last time I checked in on her, she is verbally committed to Fordham.
Another bucket there by Myers. She ties the game at 33. There's Hilaire. Hilaire gonna earn a trip to the free throw line. She's really got that ball on the string, man.
Boy, doesn't she? Yeah, she can go left to right, right to left real quick. You know, and I think a lot of times where a kid's size can be a disadvantage, she uses her size as an advantage.
Yeah.
Because she can get underneath defenders a lot of times and, you know, kind of squirt right past their hips and get into spaces that maybe a bigger player wouldn't be able to. Yeah, she's definitely hard to guard, that's for sure.
Knocks down the second free throw. It's going to put Exodus up by 1. Plenty of time left here in the second half, over the 12-minute mark. Myers going to try the jump hook there. She leaves it short. Floor gets it to Douglas. Douglas guarded by Bostic. Fortune off the window.
Great look there by Douglas to get downhill and then dump it off to the post player. I like the touch there by Fortune, and she definitely wanted to put it off the glass. It wasn't one of those accidental things. And then you see right here on the other end, her affecting the floater and then getting the rebound. You can see why she's going to provide immediate help for the Yellow Jackets. That jumper, however, off the mark. That could be an area where she can polish up a little bit, but she has shown that she can hit that jumper in previous evaluations.
She gets the strong rebound in traffic there, gets it to Hilaire. Hilaire over to McClure, guarded by Wallace. Johnson guarded by the smaller Ahart. We're seeing an uncharacteristic game for Nia Johnson, in my opinion. Pretty quiet outside of the three-pointer that she hit there in the first half.
Well, sometimes you just kind of take what your team gives you, and quite honestly, it's been McClure and Douglas that have really been the catalyst for this team, and not to mention Hilaire. So, you know, when you look at it, you know, overall, when those kids are kind of clicking as Douglas gets downhill again, no sense in trying to force your way into, you know, messing up other people's rhythm. Maybe you just kind of play more of a secondary role, but you're right, it has been a little bit uncharacteristic for her.
But she knocks down that one and gets back to form. And my biggest thing was just that last possession where she had a smaller Ahart on her and instead ends up throwing it out and throws a turnover. You know, that was the biggest thing, you know, but I think you can give her credit for being able to let the McClure, the Douglases, the Hilaire, Fortunes, you know, letting them do their thing and not having to take those, you know, I haven't shot the ball in a wild shot, so let me just get one up. You know, you can give her credit for that. She definitely has the tools.
As you see her sizing her up and taking advantage, taking advantage of the younger Ahart. It's almost as if we start talking about her quietness, she wakes up. But boy, this All-Ohio team is just splitting the zone, slicing it up with a high-low game. You got to love the passing here by All-Ohio.
You got to, Coach Bethea. This team definitely playing well here. Bexley, Wallace, you know, we talked about Myers, we talked about McIntyre. You know, Wallace going to be a player to watch. As well, does a good job just doing the little things, runs the floor, you know, can knock down the baby jumper, can also finish when you give her the ball in that high-low setting.
I really like not only the youth of this All-Ohio team, but I like the fact that they're so unselfish right now. You mentioned Ahart. I think Hooks has as much talent just raw talent as any kid, you know, in the program right now. Even when you talk about Valencia Myers, you know, high ceiling, lots of athleticism. Hart, I love her IQ.
Yeah.
You know, never tries to do too much. Fortune getting on the offensive glass here for Exodus.
Johnson just off the mark on that three-pointer, rebounded by Rice, who's gotten a nice breather here for a little bit of time off the mark on that layup. She's trying to get those legs back going. Bexley Wallace hustling back on defense, but Hilaire still finishes the layup. Five-point advantage for Exodus. 8:53 and counting left to play here in the second half. McIntyre going to have that ball knocked out of bounds. Was it off of her knee? Official says it was. Ball back over to Exodus.
Well, another part of that bathroom conversation that I had with Coach J.B. Bethea was the fact that he wanted to play his young kids together and he wanted to play his vets together. And I think that's why you saw Sierra Rice go to the bench as well as McIntyre for so long.
Johnson got it out to McClure. McClure going to lose that ball. The ball back over to All Ohio.
McIntyre and Rice quite possibly playing, well, not quite possibly, they are playing their last summer game of their playing high school playing days here today. Talked to a lot of different parents, and boy, McIntyre just getting it done, sliding past Fortune, good body control. Talked to coaches and parents alike, you know, the bittersweet, you know, ending, you know, of this. Obviously, it's very tiring, it's very taxing, expensive, you know, on top of that when you talk about the meals and the hotel rooms and the gas and the travel. You know, so what is, you know, all of this value, you know, outside of exposure, you know, to play in front of these coaches that a lot of times already have their mind made up about you as to whether or not you can play or not. And I think at the end of the day, you have to keep it all in perspective. It is just a game, but at the same time, it is life, and you got to play through some tough times. You got to play through fatigue. You might have teammates that are difficult to play with, and you've got to learn how to deal with people. You've got to deal with a coach that's, you know, very demanding and everything else. And so just growing up and maturing, those type of life lessons are very valuable in that way.
Well, definitely, Hemi. And you do have a coach that isn't demanding. They're not really giving you the best preparation for basketball or life in that matter. So being able to respond to the demands has made these players all the better. As we got to scramble for the ball there. McIntyre picks it up and is fouled. Should go to the line and shoot too. 7:24 left to play in the game. 5-point advantage for Exodus. Rare free throw missed there for McIntyre. Gravy on the second. So a 4-point game. That pass a little bit too far ahead for Rice. As Hilaire will bring it up for Exodus. Over to Douglas. McClure off the mark. Douglas with an offensive rebound. Douglas just short on that 3-point attempt. So Sierra Rice at the point here. for All-Ohio. Sharpshooter Katrina Williams also into the game. She's number 1. Little bit of a force there. McIntyre had a wide open Williams there on the wing. Douglas with a wide open look. Cashes in.
A Fordham commit showing that she can knock down the open jumper as well as create off the dribble. She becomes a tough matchup when she can start to do that. Exodus committed to this zone defense right here. And a late rotation is going to give number 1, Katrina Williams, a wide open jumper and a 3-point bucket.
Williams was ready to shoot that one. McIntyre had missed her on that last possession. She was locked and loaded for the next time around. Sierra Rice gets the long rebound. Nice pass ahead to a running Wilkes. Wilkes too strong on the layup.
Ooh.
Sidestep by Johnson. She misses. Russell can't get the follow. There's McIntyre. Can't get that shot to go. Rice with the offensive rebound. Back out to Williams. So Ohio settled it down here on this possession. A regroup. Nice block there by Russell, but McIntyre sticks with it. No good on the second attempt, as you can see fatigue kind of playing a factor there on that possession.
Yeah, that extra spring to be able to get back up quickly. Just not there right now from McIntyre, but hey, you got to keep pushing through. And she's right back here on the defensive end, closing out on the perimeter. And this is part of the evaluation too, you know, when it comes to the coaches. You know, how do you play through fatigue? How are you going to play when you're tired? Because there's going to be parts of the season when you're in conference play, you're 10 games deep, and you're on the road on a Tuesday night, traveling, you know, after having played, you know, on a Saturday or a Sunday. There's going to be fatigue there as well, too.
Yeah. Coach Bethea of All-Ohio calls a full timeout. 4 minutes, 26 seconds left to play here in this one. It's a 4-point advantage for Exodus. We'll have one more webcast here on Prospects Nation TV coming up after this one. So we've got the timeout out of the way. Back to the action. Sierra Rice will bring it up for All-Ohio. Myers, not sure whether that foot actually left the ground or if it just looked, or looks like the official might have anticipated it just with the way she rolls up.
Yeah, those type of travels often get called with officials. Even the the jab and go type things, jab left and go right. They'll see that as 2 different steps, but hard to be an official. Can't complain.
Yeah.
They get more calls right than not.
Stephanie Johnson, or Stephanie Jones off the mark on the shot. Rice over to Williams. .327 left to play here in the ball game. Still a 4-point advantage for Exodus. Williams gonna dial up a 3. Just in and out. Nice hustle by Moses with the offensive rebound. Moses gets Russell in the air, but Russell recovers Moses still able to save it. Definitely benefited from an official not being over there.
Well, if they got hurt by a travel call that wasn't a travel previous possession, I think they benefited by having two officials on one side on this possession.
Yeah, definitely. Those two items cancel each other out. As Moses was close to being over there where we ate that aforementioned barbecue pork sandwich that you talked about.
And just a look on her face like, oh, I'm out. Oh, wait a minute, they didn't blow the whistle.
Right. That shot off the mark by Russell, rebounded by McIntyre. Now it's in the hands of Moses. Moses trying to part the Red Sea again there on that one. Can't get the shot to go. But it's going to be last touched by Exodus, it looks like, so it'll stay with All Ohio. Having a seat going to be Valencia Myers into the game. Number 21, Amber Wilkes. So we're going to have a timeout with 2 minutes, 15 seconds left to play here in this one. All Ohio has had stretches, but Exodus has always done just enough to keep the advantage going. Hemi, what do you see? Obviously, the ability to execute and get more points than the other team, will decide the game. But what do you see as some of the other dynamics that are going to be key as far as deciding the victor of this one?
Well, I think it's going to be Martine Fortune. Can she keep McIntyre out of the paint and ineffective? And will it be the Exodus guards that are able to slash through the defense? So I think it's post play versus guard play. Which one is going to win out? That seems to be my view.
Hilaire trying to take it all the way. Can't get that shot to go. Rebound by Wilkes. Williams. Cash. Katrina Williams, best shooter here on this All Ohio Black squad. Shows it again there on that play. Stephanie Jones nearly has that ball stolen away. She gets it to Johnson. Nice defense there by Moses, but Johnson sticks with it.
Johnson's so savvy.
Yeah.
Great footwork, able to navigate the lane, great body control and touch as well too.
She puts her squad up by 3 after that bucket. Fortune with the rebound.
And you see what Fortune does. She definitely changed or altered what McIntyre wanted to do with that post move.
Splitting through is Hilaire. Can't get it to go off the window. Rice with the rebound.
Ooh.
As Rice going to be called for the offensive foul there.
She ran into a brick wall. And Jones didn't fall down, but I think it was still the right call. Rice initiated the contact, that's for sure.
So we've got 40 seconds left to play in this game. It's a 3-point advantage in favor of Exodus. Douglas gets it over to Hilaire. Hilaire's guarded by Rice. Fortune finds Johnson. That could spell trouble for All Ohio, and it does along the baseline.
A great high post pass right there by Fortune, finds Johnson. Johnson has been key in this second half with timely jumpers and floaters in the lane.
That makes the lead 5, but it's cut to 3 after that Wilkes layup.
And speaking of great high post passing, McIntyre showing the vision right there from the high-low, finding Wilkes along the baseline for the finish.
So we've got a short timeout. We'll take it with them when we get back. The final 10 seconds of this matchup, All Ohio versus Exodus. 3-point ball game.
Ooh.
We've got a tie-up. Nice defense by McIntyre. It will be all Ohio Blacks ball. They will have a chance to tie here with 9 seconds left to play here in the game.
Right on cue. McIntyre comes up with what ends up being a steal. Now they're going to set the screen.
They got the shot they wanted. Williams can't get it to go.
Oh.
Tough break right there.
Great game right there, Marcus. I tell you, very well played by both teams. Comes down to the wire. What a great way to end this July for all Ohio and the Exodus group.
Exodus gets the W. Thanks for joining us here on Prospects Nation TV.
Oh, I thought that was ice cream.